Hey everyone, welcome to another video in this series with me on our channel AI with Supreet. And if you are following along the videos on this series, in the last video what we did is we created an n8n workflow that was reading the lead details from Google Sheet and using Retell.ai, it was making outbound calls. Now in today's video what we are going to do is we are going to complete this video because once the call is over we were not getting the data back from the call, and we were not updating the sheet. So in this video what we are going to do is we are going to get the data back. Once the call is over, we are going to process the call, we are going to understand what was the discussion that happened on the call and figure out two metrics, specifically what was the outcome of the call, whether the caller is interested in having a call with our fictitious real estate agent Sarah, and if they are interested, what was the booking date and time that they said that they are available for a call with Sarah. So we will complete that today. So essentially what we are going to do is we are going to create a webhook that will listen to the calls that are happening on Retell AI, and once the call is over, we will analyze the call, we will get the data back from it, and we will update in the Google Sheet. Of course, in a real world example, real world scenario, instead of updating it in a Google Sheet, you can update it in any other CRM, for example monday.com, go high level, anything else that you are using. Alright, so let's get started. So the first thing that we need to do is to make sure that we need to update the same record back in the Google Sheet, and in order to do that we need to understand which of these columns are we going to use as the unique column to identify that row, and that column for us is lead ID, right? So what we need to do is we need to make sure that in our existing workflow that we did in the last video, and if you have not seen the last video, I'll drop the link below, and I'll highly recommend that you do that first because this is a follow-up video on the last one. So if you remember, what we were doing was that we were reading the details from this Google Sheet, and we were parsing it, and we were sending it via an HTTP request to Retell.ai, but we were not sending the lead ID. So if you see here, where do we have it? Sample expired sheet 1, variables in context. Yeah, this we were connecting that there. Execute this one. In here, if you see that we were not using the lead ID, so what I want to do is I want to add lead ID here and pass that along here, as well as I'll go ahead and modify the system message here to add lead ID as 1001, whatever, it's a sample value. Okay, so we will just do that and execute step. So we got that lead ID, and finally we want to go to the structured output here, and we will update this as well to get that lead ID and pass it on to Retell AI. Lead ID, let's run this, make sure everything looks good. Let's run this, and yes, the lead ID is available here. And finally we want to send the lead ID via the HTTP request body that we did in the last video to our agent in Retell.ai as well. This is important because we are using the lead ID to identify the row that we want to update when we get when the call is over and we want to use that to update that Google Sheet record back again. All right. So in order to listen to the analysis once the call is done, we will use a node called Webhook. And if you add a Webhook node, you will see that there is a test URL and there is a production URL, and they both are used exactly as the name suggests. The test URL is for testing and the production URL is for production. The path the default value in the path section here that you are seeing is nothing but a unique value that you can change to whatever you want. I will just change it to post call analysis. It has to be unique so that it helps identify what webhook we are calling. So we will use the test URL for time being, but before going live we will change it to the production URL. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this, click on this to copy. Now go back to your Retell AI account, open your agent, and there are two settings specifically that we will need to change. One of the settings that we will change is this webhook setting. So expand that and update the post call webhook analysis value there, the URL there. The other thing that we want to do is the post call analysis. This is nothing but we are telling Retell AI that once the call is over, we want you to process it and get certain details out of it, so that we can send those details back to our n8n workflow and from there to the Google Sheet or any connected CRM accounts. The two details that we specifically are interested in are call outcome as well as booking date time. There are different types of outcomes that we can get from here. One is text, the other one is selector, like if you have multiple options available and you want it to give you an output value based on that is selector. The boolean is yes and no. Numbers is like if you want to fetch or extract a number from the transcript or from the call that happened with the customer. So the first one, call outcome in my case is options. It has to give me a value based on whether is you interested or not, or whether the call went unanswered. So it will only give me one of these three possible values. The other one, booking date time, is a text record, but notice here that I have also given it current time. This is a system variable, system defined variable here in Retell AI. Using this here allows Retell AI to understand what is the current date and time, and this helps when let's say the caller says that okay, I'm happy to have the call tomorrow at 4 p.m. What is tomorrow? In order to know what is tomorrow, it needs to be aware of what is the current date and time, and it is able to understand the current date and time if you give it this system variable here. So just copy paste this. It's all available in my Notion doc that I will share the link for in this descriptions in this link in this video below. So those are the two settings that we need to do, and once we are done with that, we are just going to publish it so that the changes are published. And once the changes are published, what we are going to do is we are going to initiate a test call so that we can check whether our webhook on n8n is receiving the data back from Retell AI or not. So I'm going to call it, but before I do that, let me show you something. That once the call is over, there are exactly three events that Retell AI fires. One is called, let's pick one that has a successful webhook in there. No, let's do this one. Okay, I don't have any successful records, but that's all right. We'll go back and we'll create one. So basically, whenever I do a call here, it will call that webhook with an event called call initiated. Then when the call ends, it will once again call that webhook with an event called call has ended. And when the the call has ended, it will call a third webhook, or it will call the webhook for a third time with an event called the call is analyzed. That is the third event. That is what we are interested in. But there is a caveat here. This, when you are using the webhook node in n8n, it only listens to one event. It cannot listen to multiple subsequent events, which means when we are in test mode, when we are using the test URL, we need to click on this listen for test event multiple times in order to listen to the specific event that we are interested in. And I'll show you how we do that. So you go to the Retell AI, initiate the call. Once the call is done, then you listen for this, and then you should see that call is over event will get fired, and you should see the data in here. But then we'll immediately enable the listen for test event once again, and it should pick up the call has been analyzed event, wherein we will then see the post call data, specifically these two values. All right, so let's try that, and I'll go ahead and initiate the call. Hello.
Hi there, is this John?
Yes.
Hey John, this is Sarah Thompson's assistant. Is now a good time to talk for a minute?
Uh-huh.
Thanks, John. I'm calling about your property at 1234 Elm Street. I noticed the listing recently expired. Just wondering, are you still open to selling it?
Yes.
Got it. Thanks for letting me know. If you're open to it, I can have Sarah give you a quick call to discuss your options. Would you prefer she reach out today, or would tomorrow work better for you?
Well, today works great. What about 4 p.m.? Is she available?
Thanks, John. I'll let Sarah know to give you a call today around 4 p.m. She'll reach out then. Really appreciate your time. Have a great day.
What happened? It didn't listen. The call is over. It didn't listen. So clearly something is missing. So we'll go into the call history, the last call, and we will check the detailed logs here to see what happened. Error code is bad request. Oh yeah. What we did not do is that stop listening. This needs to be a post method in order for Retell AI to call this webhook. So we'll have to do that call once again. I'm so sorry about that. We'll go ahead and head back to our agent and initiate that test call once again. It's a good thing that these calls are usually less than a minute. Hello. Hello.
Hi, is this John?
Yes.
Hey John, this is Sarah Thompson's assistant. Is now a good time to talk for a minute?
Uh-huh.
Thanks, John. I'm calling about your property at 1234 Elm Street. I noticed the listing recently expired. Just wondering, are you still open to selling it?
I am open to selling it, yes.
Got it. Thanks for letting me know. If you're interested, I can have Sarah give you a quick call to discuss your options. Would today or tomorrow work better for you?
Well, I think we can have a call today at about 4 p.m. if she is available.
Perfect, John. I'll let Sarah know to call you today at 4 p.m. Thanks for your time. I'll make sure she reaches out then. Have a great day.
Now that the call is over, we see the call ended event, but let's go ahead and start listening it again, and we see the call analyzed event. So it happened in quick succession, so I don't know whether you noticed it or not, but when we started listening it for the first time, we were seeing the call ended event, but because we are not interested in that, we are interested in call analyzed event, I had to click on listen for test event once again, and we were able to see the call analyzed event. And this is the event that we are interested in, because this has the data that we are looking for, which should be available somewhere down below. Okay, we'll see that. No worries about that. It's a good thing that we were able to capture that. All right. Then the other thing that we want to do is, once the call is over and analyzed and the webhook is called, we get all of this JSON data. We need to parse it in a certain format. So in order to do that, we will use another node called respond to webhook node. So I'll click on that. Click on the go back to the canvas, and then as I said, there are multiple events being fired from Retell AI, and we are interested only in a specific event. So I'm going to use an if block, and I'm going to say that the event, if the event is call analyzed, if the event is equal to call analyzed, that is the event that I am interested in, right? So if that happens, do something, and if the event is not call analyzed, do nothing. So I'll add a do nothing block when it is not this one but this one. So when the call is completed but it is not the call analyzed event that the webhook has received, do nothing. But when it is the call analyzed event, then what we want to do is we want to parse that data back. So we will use respond to webhook node, and in here we will so if it is yes, then what happened to this? Why is this red? If I execute this, says node successfully executed. What is missing? So we go back here. Oh, we don't have the data here. Okay, no problem, fine. So once the call is done, we do need the data, so I'll have to make one more call. This is the problematic part of it, but there is, when we are working with this guy here, there is no other option but to try it again and again. All right, so we'll do the test call once again. Hello. Hello.
Hi there. Is this John?
Yes, speaking.
Hey, John, this is Sarah Thompson's assistant. Is now a good time to talk for a minute.
Okay, what is it about?
Thanks, John. I'm calling about your property at 1234 Elm Street. I noticed the listing recently expired. Just wanted to check. Are you still open to selling it?
Yes,
Got it. Thanks for letting me know. If you're open to it, I can have Sarah give you a quick call to discuss your options. Would you prefer she call you today or would tomorrow work better?
we can do a call now.
Great. Thanks, John. Is there a specific time tomorrow that works best for you?
How about 3 p.m.?
Perfect. I'll let Sarah know to call you tomorrow at 3 p.m. Thanks again, John. Have a great day.
Call ended. Call analyzed. Fantastic. We have it captured again. And if I now go here, still don't have, we have the call analyzed is true. Fantastic. And then the in the call, the parameters that we are interested in are not in latency, not in call cost, they are in call analysis under custom analysis data, call outcome, and booking date time. So these are the parameters that we are interested. You remember, these are the ones that we set in Retell.ai, and you see that the user is interested and they have said that they would like to have the call tomorrow at 3 p.m. So it was able to capture all of that data, which is fantastic. What we now need to do is we need to process that data here. So in respond to webhook, we will choose respond with first incoming item that we get. We will set the response code as 200, which is like says that yeah, the call was successful, and then we need to process that incoming data into a JSON format. And I have it here in our Notion doc, which I will share with you in the descriptions of this video below. So we'll go ahead and add that there. Just go ahead and check. So basically we are saying that the lead ID is here, the call outcome is here, and the booking date and time is here, and this is what we want to use, which looks good. Let's go back. So now once the call is done, and if it is the right kind of event that we are capturing, we are sending that data back to respond to webhook, which is doing nothing but putting it in a structured format, in a structured JSON format, like lead ID, call output, and booking date and time. And then the next thing that we want to do is we want to send it to Google Sheets. So the next event would be again Google Sheets, and we want to update row in the sheet. Google Sheet account, we want to update the row. Which Google Sheets? Again, sample expirates, and sheet 1 is what we want to update. Now here's an interesting part. Which column do we need to match it on? Because the Google Sheet could have multiple leads, we need to tell n8n which of the columns or the rows that we need to update, which of the columns that we need to match in order to update that specific row. And we know from our Google Sheet that lead ID is unique, and that is what we want to use to match which row to update. So lead ID. Now what values to update? Definitely we don't want to update the lead ID. This is what we are matching. We don't want to update the name, the phone number, the property address, the agent name, callback number or timestamp. We are only interested in updating the call outcome and booking date time. So we will go ahead and update these rows in the sheet, but we do not have it here. Let me just execute. Yeah, so we execute that there. We have the call event here, the transcript object. No, not the call cost, the call analysis, right? So the call outcome that we want to update is this, and the booking date and time that we want to update is this, and the lead ID, the column that we want to match it with is something that we must have sent as part of the call. Where is that? Some dynamic variables we sent, right? We updated the dynamic variables that must not be in the headers. It must be call analyzed, ID, event, call status, call summary, link tokens usage, access token, no, variables in context, no, not here. Am I forgetting something? Let me very quickly check. Okay, looks like there is a problem, and the problem is that the lead ID is not available, and that is because the lead ID is not available because we initiated the test call from the web interface and not using the n8n workflow that we created earlier. So just to update, what is happening here is that we created this new workflow today to receive the webhook and to update the data back, and before we did that we also updated this one to send the lead ID to our system, right, to Retell.ai. But because we are not initiating the call via this and we are initiating the call via web, it doesn't have the lead ID, and that is why it is not sending that lead ID back to us. So in order to receive that lead ID back, what we need to do is we need to initiate the call using this guy. So let's just do that. Oops, something is wrong in the HTTP request, bad request. What went wrong here? Please check your parameters. Lead ID must be a string, okay? I must have, oh yeah, it needs to be a string, not like that. All right, go back, execute the workflow, and if everything is good, I should get the call back here now. Yes, I got the call back, so I'm going to receive it, and then we are going to listen to the event once again so that we get the call analysis data back. Hello.
Hi, is this John?
Yes.
Hey, John, this is Sarah Thompson's assistant. Is now a good time to talk for a minute? Thanks, John. I'm reaching out about your property at 8742 Pinecrest LN in Seattle. I know the listing recently expired. Just wondering, are you still open to selling it?
Yes, I am open to sell it.
Got it. Thanks for letting me know. If you're interested, I can have Sarah give you a quick call to discuss your options. Would you prefer she calls you later today or would tomorrow work better?
We can go call today at 3 p.m.
Perfect. I'll let Sarah know to call you today at 3 p.m. Thanks for your time, John. Have a great day.
Thank you. Call ended. Listen to once again, and we have the call analysis. This capturing here, clicking it multiple times, is essential because, as I said, when you are using the test URL, it only listens to the first event that it receives. However, that is not the case in production. So once we are done with our testing, then we don't need to do this exercise. So we will execute the previous nodes, and now we have the lead ID here, and based on that, so it looks correct. So now we need to update, and the lead ID is updated, and we have everything in place, right? So the lead ID that we will be capturing, again I will show you where we are going to get is in the call, and in the dynamic variables we get the lead ID. So we just need to use that here to match which column that we want to update in the, which row we want to update in the Google Sheet. And again in the analysis part, call cost and call analysis, we have the call succeeded and the call outcome and booking date time, which we are updating here and here because these are the details that we are interested in. Of course, if you are sending it to a CRM, there is a lot more data that you can send to Retell AI and you can grab it back as well. So that being done, I think that's it. We are good to go. And if I just go ahead and execute this step, you see that there is no data in there right now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and execute this once manually to make sure that our Google Sheet connection is working okay. And you see that they are interested, and this is the time that they have suggested that they want to meet on. All right, looks like everything is good. Now in order to test it end to end without me having to do that exercise of listening to the test webhook URL multiple times, what we need to do is that we need to go back into our trigger webhook, get this production URL from here, go back to Retell AI, update the webhook with the production URL, production webhook URL, and publish it again. And once that is done, we will go back to our n8n, and because everything is ready now, I should be able to activate it, and it is activated. Got it. Now everything is like activated. I don't need to do any manual exercises, but I will only execute the call one last time from here, so bear with me. And we will remove this test data from here. Hello?
Hi, is this John?
Speaking.
Hey, John, this is Sarah Thompson's assistant. Is now a good time to talk for a minute?
Yes, sure.
Thanks, John. I'm calling about your property at 8742 Pinecrest LN in Seattle. I noticed the listing recently expired. Just wanted to check. Are you still open to selling it?
Yes.
Got it. Thank you for letting me know. If you're open to it, I can have Sarah give you a quick call to discuss your options. Would you prefer she reach out today, or would tomorrow work better for you?
Hey, I'm busy today and tomorrow. How about day after at 2 p.m.?
Absolutely, John. I'll I'll let Sarah know to give you a call the day after tomorrow at 2 p.m. Thanks for your time. I'll make sure she reaches out then. Have a great day.
Thank you. And we will just wait for it to process the call, and as you can see, the call outcome is she is interested. And day after, what was the time we said? 2 p.m. Yeah, 2 p.m. Pacific time. So the workflow works, and this allows us to make the outbound call, and this execution receives the call back from Retell AI and updates our Excel sheet back. And as I said, Excel sheet is just an example. Instead, if you want to send this data back to any other CRM of your choice, we can do that pretty easily. Instead of this, we'll just change this node and we will send the data back to your choice of CRM. So yeah, that's it. I hope it was useful. Let me know how you find this video in the comments below. Remember how to test webhook trigger. When you are in the test mode, you'll have to listen to it multiple times because it listens it only once. Yeah, that's it. I hope you find it useful. Thank you. Bye.